So, you want to start reading about the greatest character in fiction. You've watched all of the movies, seen all of the shows, and you've played all of the games. But now, you are ready for the real deal. But there's just one very small issue. You have no idea where to start. Well, look no further than this video, because as the title of today suggests, I am going to be telling you how to start reading The Batman. And without further ado, here is how to read The Batman. One of Batman's most popular stories to start with is without a doubt Batman Year One by Frank Miller. However, Batman did not just automatically get all of his skill. He had training, and this first book of today will show you just that. To start with Batman, begin your journey with Chip Zdarsky's Batman the Knight. Batman the Knight takes place before Batman Year One and takes us through Bruce's entire journey to becoming the man he needs to be for Gotham. Our next story to pick up on this list is the retelling by Frank Miller of Batman's first ever year in Gotham City. Batman Year One is more of a Year One story for Batman, Gotham, and Gordon, with both Gordon and Batman being narrators. For the story, Batman Year One tells a story about the corruption in Gotham and how Batman and Gordon go about stopping it. Now, most of you who know the basics about starting with Batman might be thinking our next comic will be none other than Batman The Long Halloween, but you would be wrong. We still have a few more comics before we are officially ready to start Batman's second year in Gotham. And the first comic you're going to start with in that line is Batman Shaman. Batman Shaman takes place some time after the events of Year One and tells about an ancient healing ritual only ever allowed to be told within the tribe that created it. But someone tells the story, and it's up to Batman to find out who and stop them. Our next comic on this list is going to be the introduction of Hugo Strange in Batman and the Monster Men. The Monster Men shows us Hugo Strange and his freakish experiments, and it's up to Batman to stop it. The next comic you want to pick up following after this is Batman Prey, a follow-up comic to the Monster Men. This comic goes deeper into the making of Hugo Strange's obsession with Batman. After reading Batman Prey, pick up The Man Who Laughs. Quick note, this is The Man Who Laughs, not The Batman Who Laughs. This comic is a retelling of Batman's first ever encounter with the Clown Prince of Crime. Afterwards, you're going to pick up Batman Snow. You can also pick up Batman Four of a Kind before this. However, I have not been able to find this comic anywhere online, so I'm yet to read it. So, I will not be adding it. Batman Snow tells the origin of Victor Freeze and his transformation into Mr. Freeze. After reading Batman Snow, pick up Batman Gothic by Grant Morrison, a story about a seemingly immortal man come back to take revenge. And now, we are finally on Batman's second year as a crime fighter. To begin your journey, start with Batman Haunted Night by Jeff Loeb. This story shows Batman faced against the Scarecrow. After reading Batman Haunted Night, move on to Batman The Long Halloween, a story about the tragic downfall of District Attorney Harvey Dent and the serial killer Holiday. Once you've finished Batman The Long Halloween, check out the direct sequel, Dark Victory, which takes place right after the events of Long Halloween and shows the fallout of Two-Face's birth and the introduction of Robin. And if you cannot get enough of Two-Face already, here is yet another comic where Two-Face takes center stage. Pick up Batman Faces, a comic where Two-Face leads a band full of disfigured people like himself against Batman. The next comic you want to read on this timeline is going to be Batman Venom. This story shows Batman taking an experimental enhancer after not being strong enough to save a little girl from drowning. After Batman Venom, tap into Batman Ego, the comic where Bruce has to face his biggest challenge yet, himself. The next comic you'll pick up after Ego is A Serious House on Serious Earth by Grant Morrison. Batman has to step into the madhouse. But is he stepping into Arkham for a visit? Or is he stepping into Arkham to feel right at home? After that, check out Robin Year One by Chuck Dixon, a comic that goes through the entire events of Grayson's first year as the Batman's partner. And now, we are on Batman's second partner, Jason Todd. To start this off, you're going to want to pick up Batman Second Chances, a comic that goes over Batman and Jason's first time meeting. Afterwards, read Batman The New Adventures number 410 and 411, which takes place right after Batman Second Chances. Skipping ahead a bit in Jason's career as a crime fighter, pick up Batman The Cult, the comic that shows Deacon Blackfire breaking the Bat worse than he could ever imagine. After Batman The Cult, check out Batman The Killing Joke, the comic where the Joker commits his most violent crime yet against Commissioner Gordon and his daughter. Now, unfortunately, some things don't work out, and for Jason, this holds more truth than you could imagine. The next comic you'll pick up is Batman A Death in the Family, the tragic tale of Jason Todd's death by the hands of the Joker. Batman needs a Robin. He needs someone by his side so he doesn't become too dark and violent. And no one knows this better then Tim Drake. And the first comic you'll pick up from that era is A Lonely Place of Dying, the introduction of Tim Drake as Batman's third partner. The next comic you'll pick up will actually be the Demon Trilogy, which contains Birth of the Demon, Bride of the Demon, and finally, Son of the Demon. 3 tales about Batman and the Great Ra's al Ghul. After reading that trilogy, you have one more trilogy to check out, which is the introduction of Bane and how he broke the Bat. This trilogy contains Batman Nightfall, Batman Night Quest, and Batman Nightshed, all in that order. Now these next comics I'm just going to speed recommend because they are very long and this video is already long enough. However, I would like to add in that you need to read all of these in the exact order that I am giving you. First, pick up Batman Contagion, then Batman Cataclysm, and finally, Batman No Man's Land. Read all 3 of those storylines in that exact order. Now, your next comic will be Batman Kings of Fear, then afterwards, pick up Batman Face to Face. After reading those, check out Batman Hush and Hush Returns. Then, you're going to want to pick up Batman City of Crime. Afterwards, pick up Batman Under the Red Hood. After Under the Red Hood, check out Heart of Hush. Now we're in the final stretch. This is the introduction of Bruce Wayne's biological son, Damian Wayne, and for this you have a trilogy to read, and finally one last comic, and then you are done. For the trilogy, read the complete Grant Morrison saga, which introduces Damian Wayne and brings Batman to the brink of madness and finally death. Now, the very last comic you will read from this list will be Whatever Happened to the Caped Crusader, ending off your long, yet very important reading order for The Dark Knight. Now that we have somewhat reached the end of our time together, I want to add a few comics that you can read for extra credit if you would like. Between the comics Robin Year 1 and Second Chances, you can read Teen Titans Year 1, The New Teen Titans, World's Finest by Mark Waid, and Nightwing Year 1. Between Batman City of Crime and Batman Under the Red Hood, you can read Red Hood and The Lost Days. And finally, for a few more recommendations which are completely separate from our established timeline, you can check out Batman Earth 1, Scott Snyder's New 52 run, Batman Eternal, Justice League New 52, and finally, Batman the Imposter. Now that we are at the very end of the video, if you stuck around till now and like this style of content, then please consider subscribing if this is your first time here. I hope each and every one of you have a safe and amazing day.